Hello friends, welcome to day 14. Today we are going to be talking about family support, right? We are going to be talking about family support, how to focus on self-loving, self-love, and then self-healing, okay? So the major focus of today's video, just a minute, can you please close the door and go? Yeah. Today the main focus is typically when we are facing this new, when we are handling this new lifestyle, what I have faced and what I have heard from many of my clients is what I'm going to share with you today. Most often than not, one of us will take the leadership and then start to bring in new changes in the house. And then over a period of time, you see that the family is also moving to a similar lifestyle. And because once you start moving to this kind of a lifestyle, your vibrations increase a lot. And because of that vibrations, the family also, or the surroundings, it matters to the surroundings. And when the surroundings also connect to that kind of vibration, you'll see the changes in them also. Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk about. And I'm also going to be talking about what actually how to handle when you go to parties, functions, marriages, and things like that. Over a period of time, what is it that you have to truly focus on? And then what is expected after you decide to focus on those things, how the universe will react, and what kind of situations are going to come, and in what mindset you will have to be at that time. So I'm just going to give you the whole process, the way universe works, the way you can expect how things will go and all that. So the very first thing you have to understand is, why am I in this kind of a lifestyle? That reason has to be extremely strong. If your reason is for ethical reasons, in that ethical reasons where you are bringing compassion and kindness to other animals, so you are also an animal, so you are also going to be bringing compassion and care to yourself. So here self-love and self-care becomes extremely important, because you should we all have been in a family, we are all in a family setup. And what I have noticed is, typically my daughter and I share the same birthday, and every single time the birthday comes, I have got into such a mindset that we'll buy things for her, and then I wouldn't have bothered to take anything for me. Of course, one of the reasons is I have probably I don't have any I don't feel that I need new clothes or I need anything. But then, yeah, if somebody gives me, I do take gifts or something like that. So when we put the family before ourselves, then what will happen is we are actually getting more into attachments, getting more into, in Sanskrit they call it mamakar, mamatva. Mamatva means you are getting you are actually getting into the hold of attachments or maya, where you think that your happiness is in somebody else being happy. But it is more about the perspective change. So the very first thing that you have to understand, the very fundamental thumb rule that you have to understand here is, you are alone in this universe, and everybody else, whether it's your parents, whether it's your husband, your children, your friends, your family, whoever you see with these 5 sense organs, they are all a reflection of you only. They may be reflecting some past life behavior of you, so that you can learn from their behavior, and then try to understand what is the lesson that they are teaching you, and then learn it and then grow. So we are always looking at a reflected image of ourselves. So when we are trying to expect something from them, when we are trying that they have to behave in a certain way with us, or whatever it is, we will only become futile, because they are not here to change, only we are here to change. So the very first thing that you have to think about is self-love. Self-care comes first all the time. So even in the aeroplane, what do they say when the aeroplane is the emergency landing procedure or the emergency crash procedure, whatever they call it? They say first you have to wear the seat belts, or you have to wear that oxygen mask and all that. Then you have to help your loved ones. Similarly, you have to focus first on yourself. How do you focus first on yourself? By doing things that helps in your growth. For example, let's say you have made some juice. So first, I would say that you have to drink first and then give it to your family members. Why should you drink first? Because you are the person who's doing all of these things, right? So if you are healthy, then everybody can be taken care of. So many times what mothers and ladies and all do that is they don't take care of themselves at all, and they're constantly stretching themselves to take care of somebody else. In the meantime, what will also happen is they will get into a lot of diseases or lot of stressful situations, and there will be nobody to actually take care of them, and they'll be struggling. So I always tell people, first you have to take care of yourself, because if you are healthy, then your family members also will be healthy, whether they align with your principles or no, but you will be there for them. So always take care of them. For example, even when in situations, let's say we have not really made enough juices for the day, I always drink first. I always drink first in the sense I keep some for myself. And I tell them you can have lemon water, or you can have this, you can have that, or whatever it is. Because I know that if I fall sick, then of course they have made juices for me and all of that, but still there is always that strength, that pillar. So that pillar has to be very strong for any house. That foundation has to be very strong. So here self-love comes first. So whatever it is, whatever is necessary for you to be healthy mentally, emotionally, and physically, give that first attention. Give your care first attention. If you have to eat fruits, eat fruits. If you have to cook for 10 people, if you have to cook for a lot of people, you eat fruits. Give yourself that self-love and self-care. Because if you are eating fruits and if you are healthy, then even if your family is asking for some kind of cooked food and other kinds of foods, you can always cook for them. But then if you eat all that, then you will also be drained and you will not be able to help yourself or them. So always put yourself first when it comes to health, and then take care of others. Many mothers come in, when they consult with me, they say, how can I help my son? I said, how do you even know this lifestyle? You don't even know the ups and downs of this lifestyle. You don't even know what happens when a fever comes, how to take care of yourself. Cold happens or anything, because first of all, they will have a lot of problems. They will have to go through a lot of ups and downs. So I always say, give it that 6 months. Give yourself at least 6 months to become good in whatever new lifestyle that you're following. Of course, in between, if your children show interest, you can definitely help them. You can give them more juices or fruits or whatever, because in this process, if they show interest, if they are not showing interest, I don't even recommend you to go and push anybody, because there is always a way to help others. It is definitely not by forcing a change on somebody else, whether it is children or adults. You cannot force a change. What did I say? They are all a reflected image of yourself. You can't force the mirror image to put bindi or something like that, to put lipstick or something like that. You have to change, and then they will change, which means you need patience, you need acceptance and all of that. Only then over time they will follow this path. My husband followed this plant-based path after 2 years of me following. My children started following after 1 year of me following. In fact, I did not even have the plan to change them. After I fully healed only, I got this idea, oh, why not I apply it on them also. Until then, I did not even realize that, oh yeah, they are also on medications. They are also suffering. I used to see, but then there was absolutely lack of clarity on how to even get into that state. So I just gave it time. I gave it time, and then I put all that attention on myself. So Smita was the project that I was working on. After Smita's project was almost done, that is when I started to work on my children, or to help my children, because I was able to give myself that 100% availability for them. And at that time also, of course, at that time I was still in that attachment mode and all of those things. But today I understand that if I'm able to take care of myself, I'll be in a better state. So acceptance and surrender is the second principle. What is acceptance? Let's say if your family members are still on dairy, still on non-veg and all of that, accept it. Accept that everybody has a day to go plant-based. Everybody needs that time to go plant-based. Everybody has a learning curve, because every soul is on the same, is all going to the same path. And in that same path, let's say if there are 25 stations from Bangalore to Delhi or something, then you may be in the 16th station. They may be in the 5th station. If they are in the 5th station, allow them to go station by station, and come to the 16th station. You may at that time, you would have reached 20th station by then. So like this, everybody has a different train that they're traveling on, but they're all traveling in the same direction. So allow them time to come to your lifestyle. But what is your focus? Your focus is to believe that I am on the right path, and I will accept them the way they are. And so acceptance is extremely important. And next one is, which follows, that is called surrender. Surrender is one of the key principles. If you master surrender, the practice of surrender, you can handle any situation in your life. You can handle whether it's a spiritual situation, mental situation, emotional situation, health situation, any situation you can handle if you learn to master the art of surrender. The art of surrender says that everything that is happening to me is for my good, right? Because it's the soul that has planned this journey, and every single experience that is coming to you is teaching you some good lesson or the other. Whether you understand it or no, it is always good. So you don't have to know and understand that it is good. You just have to believe that it is good. So if that belief on that spiritual law, that whatever happens to me is good, then even whatever outcome that is going to happen to me is always going to be in my favor. I may like a certain outcome, I may not like other outcomes, but I should believe that even if the outcomes that I don't like come also, in that also I'm going to see a lot of growth. Okay. So this is something that you have to always remember, that surrender comes to anyone who believes that everything is happening for my good only. And more often than not, in my experience, whatever you like only is going to be given to you, because the universe always wants to see you happy. They know, the universe knows that you like that outcome, you'll be happy if you get that outcome, but you need to let go of your hold on that outcome until other outcomes come. For example, let's say if somebody is on a non-vegetarian lifestyle, you'll have to accept that your family is on this lifestyle. Let's say your husband is on this lifestyle, and someday he's going to come. That belief should be there. Meanwhile, you keep doing your meditation, you keep doing your spiritual sadhana, whatever it is that you're doing, you have to keep focusing on that. And you have to surrender. How do you surrender? You just have to close your eyes and say, dear creator, I know whatever is happening to me, whatever experiences are coming to me is for my best. So I surrender this anxiety or this apprehension that I have with respect to my husband, who is leading a non-vegetarian lifestyle. I'm surrendering that entire thing to you. I believe that whatever outcome happens, whenever he is going to become a vegetarian, whenever he is going to become a vegan, but whatever may be the timeline, I'm perfectly okay with it. And I know it is going to come at the right time when he is ready and whenever I am ready. So I will trust this entire to you. I'll entrust this and completely to you, and I'm going to be completely okay. So after that, so many thoughts are going to come. See, he's not even understanding why he should not eat non-veg. See, he's relishing so much. I just told him how much of cruelty there is, but he's still enjoying. He says okay, and he's still enjoying. All these self-talk is going to come inside your head. At that time, you just have to tell yourself, okay, I don't need to hear all these things. I have already surrendered to God. That's it. Now I'm not going to listen to all this. I've already delegated this responsibility. Now I'm not going to spend my time again doing this. Because if you again start focusing on that, what will happen? The universe will let go. Again, you are back in control. If you are back in control, again the same old drama will start at home. So don't get yourself sucked into the drama. Instead of that, delegate this responsibility to God. Over time, what will happen? The universe will keep testing you. Okay, is she really letting go? Is she really letting go? So once it understands, yes, 10 times I've already tested her. Every single time she's saying, I've already delegated, don't bother me to those thoughts. So now she's ready. And then whatever you want only will happen. Suddenly your husband is going to find some documentary, some lifestyle documentary. And then he will say, you know what? You are 100% right. From today onwards, I'm not going to eat non-veg. This is exactly the way things will happen in your life, provided you go through this test, you go through this act of delegation, and then repeatedly remembering that you have delegated it and not getting carried over by some voices in your head. Okay, when the voices in your head keep coming, you should always say, no, I'm not going to get into this again. I've already delegated it, so don't bother me. And then focus on some other work that you are doing. So this is extremely important. This is how surrender works. And you are going, and there are so many people who will get caught up in this voice. For example, there was a situation in our family. I've already told this in the other class about surrender. So I think I've already discussed that part. Okay. Next is dependency on the family to follow a healthy lifestyle for oneself. So I already told, right? So for example, let's say you have to drink your juices, or you have to cut your fruits or eat your fruits or something. Don't depend on your family member to cut it for you, or do some seva for you or something, because if they are not on this path, if they are trying to help you, okay, you follow, but I'm going to help you follow, but I'm not going to follow, which is perfectly okay, right? Because you have a belief system to follow doesn't mean that they have to have a belief system. It's unfair to expect other people to do exactly what you want them to do. Let them do. Someday they will get, the way you have got all this information, they will also get that information and they will also start following this. But you do your job. You focus on yourself as a project. Okay, don't really get into the trouble that whether other people are following, not following. Oh, they are eating so much of unhealthy stuff, but I'm eating all this healthy stuff. Will they die? Will they become sick? All that worries you should just drop. They are worries only in your head. What is actually happening is, remember that first thumb rule that I said, everybody is a reflection of yourself. They don't actually exist in reality. It is only a projection. It's only a projection. If you have read Seth material a lot, then you will understand Seth Master clearly saying that it is all a projected reality. And it is like, let's say you go to a dinosaur movie, you are seeing only 3D or 4D movies, right? Where you actually feel that the dinosaur is walking. When it walks, dhum, 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 you'll actually feel that in the movie theater. But imagine you are now witnessing a multi-dimensional movie in front of you, where you don't even have an idea of a screen. The screen is not like flat, which we see in the movie theater. And there you are seeing it in a flat screen. But the feeling and all is happening when you sit on the chair, audience. But here there is no screen also. It's like everything is around you. Everywhere there is screen. Everywhere there is a screen. So this is a multi-dimensional movie. So you can't expect others to change. And for example, if let's say you have to work on yourself, you have to work on your own healthy diet, and then you have to work for to cook for them also, then it might take some time, but you should not get frustrated. The more you have patience in this lifestyle, the more you are bound to succeed. Okay, so for example, if Gandhiji did not have patience and trust in ahimsa and satyagraha and all of that, he wouldn't have been able to get our nation independence. So in your lifestyle also, you need a lot of patience. The more patience you have, the more detachment you have. Detachment doesn't mean that you don't care about them or you run away like a saint or something. Detachment means that even if that thing is taken away from you, you are not feeling bad because you're okay with having it or not having it. So if your family helps you, great. If your family doesn't help you, don't depend on it. Okay, so it is very important, especially people when they go outside. They say, ma'am, in our house we are following, but then I went to my relative's house. There we did not have any fruits, any vegetables. Why should they keep fruits and vegetables in their house so that you have changed your lifestyle? They are not people who eat even a banana. Then why should they even keep fruits and vegetables? They'll not keep. So it is your job to go and make yourself comfortable in their house. If you want to eat, carry fruits with you at least for 2 days. There will be shops. You take your money, go and shop and come back. Don't expect them to supply all of those things for you. Okay, so this is very important. Don't go to some other place and depend on anybody. If you are going on a trip, you have to take care of yourself. Nobody else is going to take care of you. Okay, and then expecting family to understand and validate whatever you do. Don't expect family to keep appreciating you or tell, yes, you're following the best lifestyle. They don't know what is best lifestyle. They only think that taking medicine is best lifestyle. You suddenly came into meditation or you came into PSSM or you came into some other thing, nature cure or whatever, and now you suddenly think that, oh, plant-based lifestyle, no medications, you saw Sattvic movement, whatever it is that you saw, you suddenly have a different belief system compared to your family. So now when they say, Bhaiya, you eating all these things, see, you've become so thin, you don't even have strength also, see, but this bag also, I am only carrying all of that, something or the other they will say. Where is that coming from? It is coming from your own internal vibrations. That is the vibrations that you are emitting. They are just reflecting what is inside you because you are not able to understand what is happening inside you. Your thoughts, those thoughts gets projected in the people around you and they will parrot. They'll actually speak those thoughts like a parrot. So when somebody is saying you are very thin, you don't look good at all, then it means that you feel you are thin and you feel that you don't look good. If somebody says, Chad, this doesn't even have calcium, what kind of diet you're following? You need to have a lot of protein and all of those things. Then it means that you have doubts. Yes, you have listened to these videos, all that is fine, but you still have some doubts. Yeah, protein, yeah, calcium, where I'm going to get my calcium? It is all inside your head. At that time, again, you have to go to those videos or maybe look at more material where some of this protein and other things have been given to make your belief stronger. So when you make your belief stronger, then your family also will start aligning and they say, okay, fine, you do whatever you want. I'm not going to bother you. They will come like that. Even if they are not really following this, they will just not bother you anymore because now you have become adjusted with this. You are like, you don't need anybody to say, yes, you're following the right lifestyle and no doubts. There are no doubts in your head. So once you are doubt free, then everybody else also suddenly will actually align to this, like to your path or to you doing all of these things because it was all inside you to align. Once you align, automatically that will get reflected in your family. So always you are the project that you need to work on and they are not the project. So you don't need their validation to confirm you are doing the right thing. This will keep coming up. People, it is so real. Everything around us feels so real. multi-dimensional movie feels so real that we will say, yes, yes, yeah, it is all like they're all my reality, they're all my reflection and all of that. But still, sometimes when they are continuing to criticize you and all that, you will again feel, yeah, you'll feel bad. All that will happen because now you have a habit. So slowly, you need to learn to become aware and remind yourself every time. Let's say if there is a pattern that is constantly coming to you from your family and all that, before that happens itself, teach your mind what all you will do. Like plan it out step by step. Okay, when they tell me like this, I'm going to think like this, and then I'm going to remind myself these steps or these things, and then I'm going to feel better. So like that, if things are always happening like a pattern, you prepare for it in advance. Or over a period of time, after preparation, over a period of time, you will get into this mode of surrender that whatever happens, I know I'm doing the right thing. I don't care whether they like me, whether they think I'm very thin, whether they think I have lost all my chubby cheeks, whether I don't have strength, whatever they think, I'm okay. I know that now I'm having my body is very sick. And then once my body is slowly getting to a shape where I can actually go and build my muscles, I will definitely do that. Today, I can't eat protein and eggs and chicken and all of those things and then build my muscles. It is not the way I know is going to work. So like that, you have to align. They will only show you what is inside your head. You have to, when they are talking to you, you should not judge them. You should analyze yourself. Oh, is it okay? It is happening inside me. Oh, that is why he's telling all this. Oh, that is why my child is acting like this. She's throwing a lot of tantrums because I'm restless inside. All of that you have to think. So you cannot expect your family to follow similar steps. They will follow when the time comes, because every soul has to get exposure to certain situations for them to be able to believe some things. For example, even in my own life, I was very, very staunch believer of medicines. I was planning to be a doctor, and I was sort of very sick and I couldn't even write my medical exam. So either way, I couldn't become a doctor, but I became an engineer. Those days, it was either a doctor or an engineer. So maybe my path was always to get into this profession only, but maybe that was subconsciously what I had planned. So when I fell sick, which means I got into a situation where emotionally I hurt myself a lot, and then I got into sickness, and then I went into near death situation. So in that state, what happened was, whatever I believed like God, which is my medicines and all of that, I believed that God, medicine was God. To that extent, I used to follow right from my childhood. And that medicine did not help me at all, because I continued to remain sick, and it increased and increased and increased. The more I took medicine, the more it increased. So it failed me. So today, if I'm talking about a non-medical approach to something else, it means that there has been a situation which really gave me that wisdom. So in that sickness, something left me. So similarly, in everybody's situation, they have to go through some ups and downs in their life for them to be able to appreciate whatever comes in the future. If that allopathy had not failed me, if homeopathy had not failed me, if Ayurvedic had not failed me, I wouldn't have understood that taking medicine is only suppressing my problem. But once I quit medicine, all those problems are automatically coming to the surface, and even in a bigger proportion. I wouldn't have understood that. If I have to be talking about medicine-free lifestyle today, it is because all those medicines failed me at one point in time. So they were a blessing, and the disease was a blessing. The problems I had in my life was a blessing. So when the moment I started understanding that everything was a blessing, only then I was able to appreciate today's lifestyle, or the lifestyle where I was cleaning up my system with, let's say, lots of skin issues. Skin was cleaning up. In the process of cleaning up, my skin was bursting out with lots of hives. I used to be itching everywhere. My nose was leaking like a tap. I had cough, all of these problems, urinary tract infections, fissures, everything came one by one. Pains came in my body. Wherever I had inflicted pain upon myself in my thoughts, those pains came up in my body. So many situations have come. But today I am absolutely free of everything. And I can only say that if I had not come, if somebody had told me, hey, lead a medicine-free lifestyle, when I was very dependent on antibiotics and all that, I would have said, come on, why should you not take medicines? Medicines are so helpful, right? They do this. I don't know why people get into all these kinds of general thought processes. I don't know who misleads them. I would have definitely spoken like this. And today I'm able to speak the opposite. From that opposite spectrum, I came into this side. And how did it come? Because I went through situations. So like that, even your family will have to go through all the ups and downs and have to understand the pitfalls of many lifestyle issues with medicines and all of that before coming to a non-medicated lifestyle, before coming to juices, before appreciating fruits and all of that. You have to understand, oh, just by eating 3 meals, nothing is happening. I have to quit all of these things. Then one day they'll get an opportunity to quit dairy. Then they'll feel better. So like this, you need to allow them to fail. Even children, you have to allow them to fail, especially when they are under you. Allow them to fail enough so that they grow. They can learn from their failure while you are there to support them. If you keep shielding them from problems, tomorrow when they go outside, when you are not in front of them, that will be a bigger problem to solve and they won't know how to solve, because you're constantly learning to spoon feed them. So always, for children, allow them to fail, allow them to take their own decisions. You guide, but when they are saying, I'll do this, then allow them to do. You keep your perfection to the side. So all of these things are very important. How to handle criticism? So criticism, many times, like I said, ladies, I have seen, have come to me saying, they usually, people who come to me have tried many whole food plant-based lifestyles, all kinds of permutations and combinations they have done on their own. They've gone to many practitioners. Somehow they have done everything, and they have, in this experiment of up and down, they have already lost a lot of their weight. Most of them are like that. So when they come to me and they understand why all of this happens, and I tell them, no, you will not be able to weight gain until your body cleans up. And when before the body cleans up, if the body is very weak, you can't even grow muscles, because if that muscles grow also, that also will become dirty. So the body will not grow muscles at all at that time. It will not even allow you to work hard to that level. So what I tell them is, first work on yourself. Learn to handle that criticism as if it is inside your head. Learn to accept yourself. Then I start making them do gratitude for their own body, whatever is working. So I tell them, compare to a state where you wouldn't have done this also. For example, let's say if she's very thin and she's still doing housework, all of that, I'll tell, let's say if you were in bed, what would you have done? So then they will say, no, ma'am, nothing would have happened at home. So be appreciative that your hands and your legs and all of those things are still working. So every day they start to practice gratitude. They start to appreciate whatever they have. And then they think about themselves, or they close their eyes and they focus on each of these parts. And then they show self-love. They will say, I love you, my hand. I love you, eyes, because you're helping me see. All of this gratitude or love, the self-care, self-love, all of that they do. Meanwhile, by the time they align with all of these things, the body is also, let's say, slightly ready. If they are already ready to go to exercises, then I ask them to go to the gym. And then usually what I've seen in my experiences, when people are very thin and they have lost a lot of their self-identity and there's a lot of criticism happening at home, I ask them to first go and then do some strength training, because that is a way for you to feel that I can also achieve something despite the fact that I am thin, because it's all muscles, right? So initially, whatever little you're able to lift over a period of time, you'll be able to progressively lift better and better. So many people show a lot of improvement, especially after going to the gym and then seeing that self-confidence builds. When that self-confidence builds, whether anybody tells something or don't tell anything, they will learn to accept it the way it is, and they won't take it to heart. So all of these things are very important. And self-criticism also should not be done, because many people, right, there were a few cases where they want to do this lifestyle, but at the same time there is a lot of craving also happens, because in the life also there will be a lot of sadness, or there will be some maybe incompleteness in their lifestyle which they feel is incomplete. And then they don't feel like, they feel, when you feel life is incomplete for them, then the food also will feel incomplete, and there is a lot of craving for junk. Not even cooked food, it is craving for junk, like literally namkeens and haldiram kind of thing, or maybe like pizzas, and those kinds of junk will be there. So what I help them to understand, okay, you're doing, I tried all methods, it did not work. In one of the cases I said, okay, fine, you are feeling like eating junk only in the evening, right? So morning you start appreciating that your body is able to do fruits, it's able to do juices, it's able to eat some amount of raw. That much at least you start appreciating, and then you start being grateful for that, instead of being guilty for what you did in the evening. Be appreciative of what you did in the morning. So that perspective change actually really did wonders. They stopped feeling guilty, and in fact they actually stopped eating also. That problem in their life still persisted. They were single, and they were not having a lot of family relationships and all that, but still their focus on the other aspects of life and being grateful for it actually changed their entire focus from junk food. So that self-criticism is also very important. The more you criticize yourself, the more you will find reasons to criticize yourself. And the more you criticize yourself also, it is of no use. How much will you criticize yourself anyway? And that will not give you any result. But what you actually want is the opposite of the criticism, right? So you focus on trying to find out how much of that have you been able to achieve, even little. Then you start to appreciate yourself, that also will go off. So when you focus on yourself, like I said, right, when you keep focusing on, oh, my children are not doing, my husband is not doing, and this and that, it is similarly, if you focus on that, they will anyway not do. Instead of that, focus on the other aspects. Okay, I will do, whether they do or no, it's okay, someday they will do. So you just focus on yourself, and then that will reflect in the environment. Like I said, right, it is also a form of surrender. The more you hold on to something that you want, you need to leave it for that to come to you. Okay, so that letting go is extremely important. Always remember this. You need to let go of something for it to come to you. You cannot hold on to it and pull it towards yourself. It doesn't work. And then how to manage in functions and parties. So typically when you go to functions and parties and all of that, we go there to socialize with people. We don't go there to eat. First thing that you have to remember. Of course, eating has become a very big part of our socializing. So you can clearly tell them, see, this is my new lifestyle, and I'm not going to be eating these kinds of things. I'm here to enjoy your company. I'm here to enjoy your this, that, whatever. And then don't be very serious when you're talking to people like this. You just say, be jolly, and then be laughing, and those, let them also take it in the light spirit. So you just tell them, it's okay, I'm just going to be doing this. It's okay, I'm going to be doing that. You don't worry, I'll just take care of myself. So just be very casual, very cool, and don't let this topic become a big topic where people are like, you are serious, they are serious, everybody's throwing advices at you. So when you are just telling them something that they have to know, and then especially when they ask, you can tell. Otherwise, you just do whatever you want to do. And then here also, let's say there is a party where there is absolutely no raw food at all, then ensure that you're eating only vegan there. Don't eat any non-vegan food anywhere. That is something that you should never compromise. Always, because your body is not a graveyard. So don't put any form of animal foods which will which will take a long time to get out of your body. In fact, I told you about children, right? Children of today's times, their bodies are so high vibrating that even if they take a little bit of non-veg also, they fall sick. That is their body expressing itself to say, I reject this food. Okay, so that is the kind of high vibrating body we need to get into over a period of time. And that is what is our focus. Okay. And also in parties, if your children are already aligned, of course you can help them understand which has dairy, which has all of these things. Over time, you can focus on. So the way I do is, when I go to functions, if there is no raw food, then I take typically vegan food, something that is very safe, like maybe rice and some, these days dal also has some ghee and all of that. So I take some rasam or something like that if it's South Indian. If it's North Indian, most of the time I just, if there is any curries or something, I just take some vegetable curries. I don't take any gravy because most often than not, these gravies contain milk cream in them or butter in them or some form of something in them. And even if you ask those people who are serving, they won't have a clue of what has been added into that. They'll say yes, no, yes, no. So mostly what I do is I eat and go. And then I just do some, for namesake, I eat something in the party. And even in festivals and all of those things, I wouldn't eat any sweets and I don't eat any fried food. So typically, even if I go to temples and all of that, if ghee is coming, I just keep my hand like this. So they won't put ghee and they won't put kheer and all that. I refuse to take even kheer. And I don't take any sweets. I don't take even fried food and all that. So rice and other items I take. And then next day I detox. So this is what I typically do in functions. And I am very clear about this. And I just tell it with a very nice and jovial manner. Yeah, you know me, right? Like that I will tell. So it's like they should not even make that serious, because if you are serious, they will be serious. If you are not serious and your face is all very jokey, jovial and all that, even they'll become serious. And also remember that, yeah, yeah, this is how typically functions and parties can be managed. And over a period of time, you'll get used to it. Okay, anything else? If you're going to some other place or something like that, again, go outside or something, eat something and come back. Don't see, first time they'll feel something, but next time onwards, they will start to accept you the way you are, because if you are strong in your beliefs, they will accept you. You don't have to logically make them feel good that you are doing this. They don't have to accept you. Okay, that is something that you need to remember. They don't have to accept you. They only have to get the message that you are not going to be eating that. That's all. Whether they like it, whether they don't like it, it doesn't matter. They may be your best of relations, but it really doesn't matter whether they are happy with it or no, that, because when you fall sick, nobody is here to help you. Okay, so you should it is just the first few times. After that, nobody is going to force you. You should just enjoy socialization and not really get into that part where eating is concerned. If eating is concerned, today we had our we had a what is this called, potluck on the terrace. Just our family, my family, my brother-in-law's family, and my in-laws, and they know I am like this. So I said I'm going to be eating fruits, and my daughter is trying grain-free this month. So she made her own food for grain-free, and she made that ratatouille, and then I had fruits, and then I made rasam and sambar for everybody. And they all had other things, like my mother-in-law had made pulao, my co-sister had made some curry and raw food, kosamri or something. So like this, we all made, but they were okay with me having fruits, because in every single time, I have not compromised and say, okay, fine, yeah, to make you happy, I'll also be happy. I have never done that. I have tried in the past. I've done that. I have failed. I've seen that it doesn't work, and then I've started understanding, because nobody was there to teach me all this. I had to learn from my own experiences. So It never works. Okay, you try to please them. You will try to please people all your life. So never try to go and please people. You do what you want, but then do it in a very nice manner. Don't try to get into a fight and argument and all that and do it. Just say, yeah, this is how it is. I'm sorry. I know you like me to eat all this, but I'm sorry. This is what it is. I just want to do this for another 6 months. Let's see after that. If it doesn't work, I'll anyway change. So you should just buy time, especially in the house also. Just buy time. Amma or in-laws, I'm just doing this for 6 months. I will see after that. If it doesn't work, I'll anyway quit. So 6 months is a very good period for you to see changes. Plus, who's tracking 6 months? Every time you see them, you're saying 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. Nobody is going to say, in January also you told 6 months. In February also you're saying 6 months. In March also you're saying 6 months. Nobody really has the time to think about all that. So these are smart ways in which you're not actually concluding any conversation logically. There is no end to this conversation. You are neither saying okay, neither are you saying not okay. You're just saying, yeah, sure, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm sure. People just want to be heard. They just want that respect. If elders are especially advising you, they just want the feeling of respect. They want them to be heard. You should say, definitely, I understand that you're concerned about me. I'm so thankful that you're concerned, and you just give them a hug or whatever it is. But then you do whatever you want to do. Over time, they will say, you are always like this, you don't listen to me. But then they are not very serious at that time. So these things are smart ways to work with people, and you don't have to really take things at a very serious level. Next one is how your spiritual growth really helps in this path. So spiritually, when you start investing in yourself, whether it is your emotions, your mental level, and then your physical level, your physical growth or your spiritual growth, whatever it is that you're aligning with at a soul level, automatically you'll see that the families are getting aligned. I told you about surrender, right? Surrender, I gave some non-veg examples and all that. So here also, this is what is surrender. Surrender is also a spiritual concept. Acceptance is also a spiritual concept. Self-love, self-care, all of that is very soul-oriented. In Bhagavad Gita, it is called Swadharma. Swadharma means you are walking the path of your soul. You are doing things for your soul. You are aligning with your soul. That is called Swadharma. That is your responsibility. That is your dharma. You are trying to please others. You are doing things that makes them happy. All of that is called paradharma. Paradharma means they doing something so that they can feel happy, then I will feel happy. That doesn't work at all in the long run. You will always have a conflict between what you truly want versus what is your plan of the soul. So there is always that conflict, and that conflict will create a disease in your body. So you should always do what you want to do. There are some small things in the house that we are still learning to do everything the way we want, but that will come provided you work on your spiritual growth. And in that spiritual growth, you need to focus majorly on your growth, your way you think. Bring a lot of gratitude in your life. The more you bring gratitude for what is already there in your life, the more similar situations happen where you'll be more grateful in the present situation also. And the way gratitude works is, let's say if you're showing gratitude for the food you have, every day you're bringing, let's say you're writing a gratitude journal, and every single day you're writing gratitude about food only. Every day you're writing, let's say, only about food. But suddenly you see that relationships are also getting better. Suddenly some new magic is happening. So like this, the way gratitude works is, it is like a spark that triggers every part of your life. So always spiritually align yourself to high emotions like gratitude, self-care, self-love, acceptance, surrender. All of these things are high positive emotions. You may be in the bad mood, but you should remember that I need to go to the high level emotion. So these things are very important. So when you focus on your spiritual growth, families align. For example, when during 2020, roughly around that period, when the schools were shut down, and there was a lot of uncertainty and things like that in the children's life. The school said, okay, we'll do work from home and all. Sorry, school online classes, they said, right? So my older one is okay with online classes, but then my younger one is a very people oriented person. She likes to be with people. She likes to see the teacher when she's getting taught. She's more that people person. So she couldn't really adjust with online at all. And what also brought is when the laptop was suddenly given to them, they started going into YouTube and browsing and many of these things. So she did not really bother about her studies also for 1 year. And we also went through a lot of ups and downs trying to understand what is happening. Initially, see, when universe gives you ideas to change also, it doesn't give you immediately. Those problems, you first have to feel the problem. You first have to suffer. You'll have to feel the pain of that problem. You have to see that pain of nothing, lack of control, right? That feeling has to come. So then after that, then ideas are going to come. Then you'll have to be very aware. Oh, ideas are coming, let me try to implement this idea. All that will come, but until that quota of karma is getting over, you will not even get that idea to change. So for me also, initially did not come. Then after that, I started meditating a whole lot. So the more I meditated, the more I was into inner journey. And the more I did a lot of affirmations, I did a lot of gratitude, I did a lot of other pujas also at that time, because I was still not into new energy. So I did a lot of pujas. It was more of many things I did. Many things I did. And then my belief was that I was actually surrendering to God. So the more I did, the more her situation also started changing. She started from a rebel, she started becoming more understanding of what is happening in her life, more accepting to the fact when we speak to her. In the past, when we actually told her with loving words, also, she never bothered. But when we changed, because it was my reality, I knew I had to change. So I took that stand. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is not going to work. I'll have to really work on myself. I need to detach. So I did not advise. I did not say anything. If I was seeing, I was in the school time also, when I saw her seeing YouTube, I did not bother. I would say it's school time. That's it. I would not say anything. Whether she followed, whether she did not follow, I really did not care. I just thought, okay, if that has to change, then I have to focus on myself. So the more and more and more I did all of these things, we saw change there. And then some new teacher, we found a new tuition teacher. The new tuition teacher was she and the tuition teacher, really, she liked the tuition teacher and all that. Then finally, her whatever basics she lost in 2 years of that COVID, where she did not focus on anything, and she did not do homework also. When school also came back, we had meetings, then also homework she's never used to do. No fear at all. I mean, these just, at least sometimes children have fear that when the teachers and all say something, there no fear was there also. I mean, on one side I was feeling, oh yeah, great, she doesn't have any fear, it is a way to go, all that I used to think. But then the situation was not actually helping. So at that time, that teacher helped her scale up. And then it took about 1 more year for her to scale up and all that. And today she's a very responsible child. She understands her things. During that period only, in fact, she went into non-vegan path, and then she ate whatever she wants. She would go and buy chocolates. In the meeting also she told about it, right? So like this, when we have to grow, situations outside will show that as our reflection. When the outside situation is not very stable, it means that we are not focusing on our spiritual growth so much. So when we start to put in that positivity into our cup, then we will see that reflected in our environment also. So always, if you want to see betterment in your environment, situations will not change, but the way you look at it sometimes also will change. For that also to happen, you need to invest in your own growth. It is like petrol. If this is getting depleted, then outside also it will show that nobody is really getting aligned. So spiritual growth is extremely very important. Whether it is meditation is only going to give you energy.
So you need to bring in some swadhyaya, you need to bring in some sajjana sangatya, and where people are discussing about some of these things and they're sharing experiences. And then you also have to bring plant-based food into your more raw, more fruits, because fruits will help you increase your vibrations. They will help you save your vital energy. And then juices will help you clean up. The more toxins you have in your body, the more cosmic energy cannot flow through your body even when you meditate. So when you are meditating, cosmic energy has to flow through you, right? To flow through you, it has to clean up you. It has to clean you up before that path has to be created. So for that, everything it cannot be done on from meditation. Give some amount of investment in your raw foods, in the lot of juicing. Juicing helps to flush all the toxins. So the more you are on raw, the more you are on fruits and juices and all of that, so much more cosmic energy flows. So I have read that somebody was actually on oranges and fruits for about 4 years. And then he also had out of body experiences and all that. So like that, when we continue that on that path for a very long time, the subtle body also becomes very, very lighter. The body becomes very, very lighter. So it is very much possible to grow spiritually by bringing in different kinds of paths, by not just only doing meditation. That doesn't work. It's like you can't put all the eggs in the same basket, they say. That's a saying. It means don't do multiple things. Put your investment in multiple things, all that they say. That's just a saying. So what I'm trying to tell is, you do some you put some investment in meditation, put some investment in gratitude, put some investment in surrender, put some investment in raw foods. So, and all of these things has to align in your practically following some of all these knowledge that you're getting. You have to follow in your day-to-day lifestyle, because your first circle of your family are your biggest teachers for spiritual growth. You can't run away from your immediate family and think that my growth is outside that. So many people come to me and say, ma'am, sometimes I don't even like to be in my family because people are criticizing me, people are doing this to me, that to me. So I just try to stay away from my family, and then I go and spread meditation. It is like, you have planned your life, you have created a set of people in your life, you have soul contracts with them so that they can align with you at all these levels, so they can give you all the lessons from your own life in front of you. You are not able to tolerate yourself. You are not able to tolerate the behavior that you were in some past life. So you need to accept that, because you are at a stage, the way that matchmaking happens is, if you are at, let's say, in 6th standard, then you will bring experiences, let's say, from 1st standard or 2nd standard or something like that level of consciousness, whatever you did karma wise. Because in this level of consciousness, you can definitely handle that, is what the soul would have decided. So that's why those experiences come like that. So you can't just run away from them. You have to accept them. You have to see, how will I grow? How will I even pass this test? How will I pass this exam? How will I get better in this? That should be the more challenge that you have to be focusing on. Your focus is, your growth is in that situation. That is what Bhagavad Gita says is Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga means the immediate experiences that come to you is where the original growth is the highest spiritual growth. So that is why Patriji also says middle path. Middle path means you can't run away from your family and try to do some meditation in some forest. It doesn't work. You might get a lot of benefits there. A lot of energy will come. That energy has to be spent in handling the problems in your house only, because this is where the problem lies. This is where the growth lies. So if how much ever meditation you do, unless you accept your current situation, you will not be able to grow spiritually. So your entire focus should be able to foster good relationships within your family, within your close circle and all that. People who are giving you constantly all these experiences. And that will happen only when you do swadharma, only when you focus on having a lot of raw foods, focus on bringing gratitude in your life, focus on many of these things that I just told about. Okay. So all of these things are very important for your spiritual growth. Otherwise, you'll just be doing the same thing over and over again, and you will not grow much. So yeah, this is what I wanted to cover. If you have any doubts, I can answer them. Any doubts so far? No questions? Okay, Seema. Seema is the only one who asks questions. Yes, Seema.
I want to know, like, when some person, they doesn't know about all these things, and we try to explain to them what it is and what not. And so that time, should we guide them or no? Like, if they ask, only you have to do, or purposely we can guide them, like regarding this lifestyle or anything.
See, today I am coming and conducting this workshop. I don't know who wants this workshop or who doesn't want this workshop. So if it is a mass audience like this, then you can share your thoughts. Provided you are not putting down somebody and then saying, I am only best. That is a wrong approach. You should always believe that everything is happening in the universe. It has a reason for all that. Nothing is bad, nothing is good. But if I am telling something, it is because I am here to share my views with you, with everybody. Whether that is right or no, if somebody aligns, they will align. Now, let's say there is one single person in your family or something. You can't force change on them. If they are very interested and they're very keen and they come and ask you how this is to be done, how that is to be done, tell me how you do this, how you're getting the change here, then you please go ahead and help them. But don't go and then
But if they don't ask,
offer unsolicited advice to anybody, like people in the group, right? There were so many people, somebody else was asking me the question and they were trying to answer saying, no, this is wrong, this is right, this should be done like this. It doesn't work. Nobody will take that advice because anything given like that will not be valued. So I would say that only when somebody seeks advice, they are open to listening to you. Then whatever you have to share, they'll absorb like a sponge. That is why in my career also, whatever I'm doing, I don't advertise myself anywhere. I don't even have a name to what I do. There is no clinic, there is nothing. People come through word of mouth and then they come to me as a client or something. But nobody did not know that I existed until I came and started conducting workshops and all like this. Only some people knew. So giving advice to somebody, especially when they don't need it, really doesn't work. In fact, in my house, my in-laws are not vegetarian. My brother-in-law, co-sister, their family, everybody is a vegetarian. I don't push them, they don't push me. They are respectful, I am respectful to what they do. That is how it has to be. When they have to change, their body will show some illness. They will only suddenly get one idea, why shouldn't I go dairy free? Somebody else will tell something to go dairy free. Like that, they will change. Universe, the same universe that helped you will help them also. You need to trust that. You are not the savior in other people's life. You are not the controller in other people's life.
Though, like, if we want to explain something, like we see that this is not good for their health. Example, like if they're having soft drinks or anything, so we can just tell, no, okay, you should avoid all these, you should not have, or can we suggest that way, or we should leave it as
you can definitely tell, provided you drop all expectations that they are going to listen to you.
Okay, just give the suggestion and leave it.
The suggestion and leave it. Because when time comes that they will quit, that advice also will be remembered by them. These are seeds that you're planting. It will sprout when time comes. Until then, it will not sprout. So you do your duty, drop all expectations then and there.
Like, actually, even in my family, all are like, we are opposite. My thinking is opposite from my family in everything. So they, for Corona, everything, they are fully medical, they into medical field only, and they depend more on doctors, medicines, this and that, and I go everything naturally. So that way, even for COVID, I didn't take a vaccine once, so one also I have not taken. Even a single dose I didn't take. And after knowing about it a lot, and then I decided not to take. But in my family, each and every person has taken two doses.
Hmm.
Everyone. Though I told them, I explained a lot to them, ki it's not good for health. It has many side effects, but no one is able to listen and
Yeah,
do.
because they are all they are all your messengers. They are not here to change. Imagine they are all dolls. Doll is programmed to come and tell you something based on the vibrations you are offering. Let's say you're vibrating at 100 hertz. Dolls will only operate and they'll go to the database and give you 100 hertz related lessons from your past life. Now, if you are operating at 200 hertz, they will all operate at 200 hertz. They are all dummies who are going to go and get you messages. So they are not here to change.
So
They are all
each
robots.
time when we speak, each time the vibration will be, frequency will keep changing.
Yes, every single moment your
Every-
vibrations will change depending on your feeling, depending on your what you're thinking, depending on what you're eating, everything.
No, my vibration will change, but the reciprocal which I get from them also will change the
Yes,
same way.
absolutely. They read your vibrations more than you talking first.
Okay.
You may be smiling and all that, but then if you have bad intentions and let's say something you judgmental about them, they will reflect the same kind of attitude towards you. You may be very kind. You may say everything. See, I was so kind to him. All that you can say, but internally, were you kind to them in their thoughts? In your thoughts, no. If you were not kind, it'll reflect like that. Always, it's like that. That's why you have to think. I am only the one who has to change here. Nobody else will change. So when you are very clear on that path, very clear on that mentality, you will only see them as dummies operating around you, and you will not even look at them and say they need a change. It will sound very real when they are operating, but you should still take a step back and not react, not do. It takes time. It's a habit that you have to constantly keep practicing. And then over time, you'll just be very happy with yourself and your joy and your happiness. And that self-reflected joy, self-reflected happiness will sort of reflect in the whole environment.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure. Anybody else? Yeah, Maheen.
Hello, good evening, ma'am. Thank you for the lovely session. Wanted to ask you that actually in our family, I mean, I'm somebody, I think I'd asked you some questions earlier about epilepsy. I get them seizures in my sleep. So basically our family lifestyle is a very sattvic lifestyle. Actually, it's a good lifestyle. It's we are vegetarians and we follow simple diet and everything. The only thing is that since we're from North India, we have a lot of dairy in the diet and wheat also. So the thing is that my mother, she like I'm staying with her because right now I'm going through a divorce. So basically she follows the Ayurvedic lifestyle, and I mean all of us do the same. So it while it's been very beneficial, but it's not, and it's helped to reduce my epilepsy over the years. I mean, make it better, but it's not found a cure. I mean, I'm still on medications. So I'm trying out the plant-based diet, I mean, based on your talks and everything. But in between, like I've just started, but like some days, you know, feel you're getting better, but some days, like of course, like you're saying, since the toxins are there since many years, it takes a while to for the improvement to start. So during these hiccups, then initially, when your family sees that okay, you're doing well, so then they won't say anything. But when they see that, oh, that day like something happened, then they'll be like, start getting judgmental about, okay, because you're following this new thing and all, so that's why.
Because Maheen, you are also still not confident. You are also looking for results. Because when the results come, that is what is your, you think that when the results come, then I will be confident. I'll trust this lifestyle only when I see results. Because that is your belief also. You may think that, yes, I believe. but then you are still not ready to understand that uncertainty, when it's going to go, when things will be okay. There is that uncertainty even inside your head. So when that happens, that will get reflected by your family. At that time, you should only say that, no, it's okay. They are telling it because I have it inside me. But how can I remove it from me? Can I go through the blind belief because this is what I have seen in these videos and all that? Or should I wait for the results and then believe? But the process or the universal law says that unless you appreciate whatever is already given to you, you will never get more. So let me start appreciating whatever little progress I have got in this lifestyle. Maybe I have seen betterment in my constipations, or I've seen betterment in my health, or let's say more my energy levels, or whatever it is that I am seeing. Let me start showing gratitude for that. And then I will start, even in epilepsy also, the body is actually trying to protect you. That you have to understand. So just say, I'm so thankful to you that you're trying to protect me by giving these kind of seizure. So like that, when you start appreciating yourself and believing that the body is 100% working for yourself, over time, you will notice that those reasons will become more and more and more. That way, whether they criticize, whether they don't do it, you will still keep doing it. Okay. Today, you want them to align because you feel I'm dependent on them. And if they are unhappy, somehow that obligation of making them happy is there because you're living with them. But what I say is, just express that in form of gratitude within yourself mentally. That will satisfy your feeling of obligation.
Actually, criticism,
that lack you have to fix within yourself.
No, actually, criticism comes from those around you, because they don't mean to criticize you for a bad thing.
Absolutely. They love you, they are concerned about you, and they feel that you are missing out on certain nutrition and other things.
Yes, so that's why. So they feel that, oh no, you should come back to the Ayurvedic lifestyle, and you're not having any milk, or certain principles are slightly different.
And they are right. They are right because they come from their belief systems, and everybody is right. You will talk and say that I am right. Somebody else will say I am right. Everybody is right. That is what Henry Ford also said, right? If you think you are wrong, you are right. If you think you are right, also you are right. So just think that they are your reflection, and then just say that I need to give this more time for me to get there. If you really want to talk to them and say, it's okay, mother, I'm just giving this another 6 months, or let's say another 1 year, this year I will try. And if it doesn't work, anyway, I know what path to come back. So buy time. Nobody really tracks that.
Right. Okay. That's a smart thing.
Try to follow this. Sorry?
I said that's a smart decision, because everybody actually, wants quick results, because people are so, impatient. And and because of quick results, and when they don't see results at a certain pace, then they start doubting. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And that feeling of quick results is there even in us also. If you are seeing it in them, because it's in you also. So you should always see them as a reflection of you, and you should say, oh, I have this also. I did not realize that I had this. So the more you see, they are all like a book. When you read that book, you should understand that those contents are within you. You may not have noticed because you are just a bunch of thoughts. We don't spend so much time to listen to our thoughts, observe our thoughts, analyze our thoughts so much. So that is why the universe makes those thoughts get projected, so that we can learn from those projections.
Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else? So, Max sir, if you have a question, you can ask. I understand that you are already aligned to these principles. If you have do you have a question?
if you have a question, you can ask. I understand that you're already on this path, and yeah, so. Did you have a question?
No, I don't have a question. I just have a comment about that basic nature of, from my experience and your experience, as you're saying, we're not responsible for other people's health. You are responsible for your own health. And that's once you have that in your mind, then you're not forcing or telling people what to do and what not to do, because they're not going to do. And that's my experience and your experience also. So if they want to take your advice, or if they want to better themselves, then they'll come to you. But just you telling them what to do and what not to do, even though you are 100% sure that they are doing wrong way, you don't want to say that to them. And then it will never work. That's my experience. With my own family, I have the same experience. My wife and kids and all that, they still, even though for 4 years I've been doing this, they're not aligned with me, because they want to eat what they want to eat. So you say, fine, you are responsible for your own health, and I care, but I stopped telling them. And same thing with friends and everybody. So it works that, and in the long run, people come to you and they say, okay, how did you do that? When they have problem. But you telling them and showing your knowledge and all that, they're not interested. That's a human nature. And you get frustrated. Initially, I used to get frustrated that I'm telling them to improve their health. How come they're not listening to me? But then you realize that they have to take responsibility for their own health. And that's what you're telling people what to do, because otherwise we get frustrated.
Yeah.
Anyone will be. That's a human nature. You want to give all your knowledge to somebody, and they're not ready to accept it, even if it's kids or adults, so it doesn't matter. So that's all I have to say. So
Yes, sir.
that's the main thing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your wisdom. Thank you. Prakriti? I have unmuted you. Yes, Prakriti?
Good evening, ma'am. I am from here in America, USA, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So I was listening to your videos, but not all of them. Few of them I heard. But I already started like a raw food, I already lost a couple of pounds too. So I'm so happy. And today you gave a really clear picture of me, because it's always like, having a problem with the families, like, husband follows, wife don't follow, kids don't follow, and all of them. And me and my husband, he eats a lot of raw food, but at the same time, he eats like meat also. So, but every time the conversation comes, like, it's a big fight in the house, like, and he always says, don't talk about the meat.
Yeah.
But today, like, you cleared that up, like, and then lately I was thinking not to involve in them, but like, hearing all these masters, fear system things, like, our mouth don't stop, like, just we go into it and then.
Yeah. That attachment we have for them, the concern that we have for them is what makes us talk again and again. And
exactly, it's so hard to stop. Yeah, I know.
We may fear for their health, we may fear for many things. So at that time we just have to remember that I'm in fear. So I just need to get to fearlessness. So then the only way.
Exactly. I have a lot of fear in me every time whenever I write. I will think about my kids. Like, my kids are grown up now. Like, he's in, both are doing masters. So, my son, like, he goes for parties, drink and all that. And in my mind, like, it gets me fear. And the other day I was telling my husband also, you should tell, like, him that, like, cut down the parties and all that stuff. But all the time that fear, I don't know how to get off that fear, what to do with that. Can you please help me?
See, why do we have fear? We fear because we think that the outcome, I like an outcome where he's not going to go to parties and drinks and all of that. But there are other outcomes also which may happen. So that is where surrender comes into picture. You should say, first of all, you should tell yourself, I'm in a
I'm in a country where these things are very common. So
I know.
that is something that I have to accept. So that's acceptance. Second thing is, if I have not given these kinds of a lot more an understanding that that ingrained behavior, if I have not helped them understand that I need to focus more on something more productive, if that has not been aligned with them in the past, that now it's not the time for them to align. Plus, why didn't they align in the past? Because that was not their sole plan to align also.
No,
Right?
no. From the beginning, we have a good connection in between us. We are so friendly, lovely. They listen to us, but they listen, but they don't follow. That's the problem. It's not that type of a kids but still I agree with them also. Maybe peer pressure or surrounded by the people wherever they go and
Like
all
you
that
just
stuff
believe that
matters.
it's you just believe that for you have, it's your karmic whatever pattern for you to be able to for you to see that and not get carried away by that fear. If fear is something that you have to overcome, then all fear based situations only will keep coming to you, because you need to learn from those problems. How do we learn a maths problem? How do we get better in a maths subject? We're constantly solving similar problems of higher and higher intensities, severities. In life also, like that, only maths problem only is going to come to us. So the way to overcome this, keep solving the problems with that kind of an attitude. So in my opinion, you really have to if you are, let's say, in fear, which is, let's say, 100 hertz or something, if you have to get, let's say get to 600 or 500, which is gratitude, start looking at what are the good things that you look at in your children.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There are a lot of good thing qualities here. Exactly.
So that way, when you start appreciating and then start every day, write at least 10 to 15 or 20 gratitudes about how good they are in their other aspects of life that you are so really truly appreciating. I mean, feeling wise, you have to appreciate. So the more you are appreciating other parts of their life, then parts become aligned. Why? Because it's like a white wall, that a white wall example I've given in my past classes. So if you're focusing on the black dot more and more black dots are going to come out. The same black dot is going to become bigger and bigger. Now, even if universe gives you more good, which is in terms of white wall, you won't focus on how much white wall came to you, because your eyes and focus, everything is on the black dot. So now what I'm saying is focus on the white part. Then the more you're focusing on the white, then universe will think, oh, she's focusing on more white. We will give her more white only. So then the more and more you'll get reasons to appreciate them more and more. Over time, that drinking and other things will go off. Maybe some situation is going to come where they let's say they go OD, and then suddenly they really get into that situation where I should some situation like that where they become aware that I should not do all that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
How the universe teaches them a lesson to get out of that is something that you won't know. But you should keep doing your gratitude.
Sure, definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much. But you helped me a lot in lot of points. I really like the way you expressing and all. I'm so blessed to be in this part of this group and everything. So thank you so much.
Don't be in fear, because every single outcome comes as a blessing only. We don't like it because in everything we start to look for happiness, happy state, comfort state, and all of that, because we think as a soul, we think that is our Satchidanand state. So every time
because we don't know all this knowledge also, actually coming to the meditation, I learned a lot. We don't know all this soul knowledge, all this not only doing like pujas and everything, and then always judging people and all that stuff. Now little by little overcoming, but it is hard. But I'm practicing. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Practice surrender all the time. You'll become it.
Sure, definitely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mantosh, Meena. Mantosh, Meena.
हाँ जी मैम, एक से.
Yeah, I can hear you.
हाँ जी मैम.
Hi.
प्रणाम.
प्रणाम.
मैं जयपुर से बोल रही हूँ और मेरे को 10 साल हो गए इसमें इनर जर्नी के अंदर, लेकिन जो सपोर्ट होना चाहिए परिवार में नहीं होता।
मैं वही बोलती हूँ,
बिल्कुल वेजिटेरियन।
मैं वही बोलती कि आप जब फैमिली सपोर्ट के बारे में बात करते हैं, शुड आई टेल इन इंग्लिश, और इंग्लिश आपको समझ में आता है?
हिंदी।
हिंदी। सो आपके फैमिली में कोई भी गुड नहीं है क्या? कोई सब बुरा है क्या? हर पॉइंट
ना
बुरा?
ना
नहीं,
नहीं, बुरा नहीं कहना है। जो कहने का मतलब है कि जो इनर जिम्नी में जो भोजन लिया जाना चाहिए या प्रकृति के साथ वो होना चाहिए, वो चीज हम अपने आप में करते हैं, वो थोड़ा कम चीजों में।
हाँ
ऐसा नहीं है।
हाँ,
बराबर।
मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ कि आप उसके बारे में सोचिए मत, उनके अलाइनमेंट के बारे में सोचिए मत, आप अपने बारे में सोचिए, क्योंकि आपके आत्म उद्धार के लिए आप सोचेंगे तो आप आगे जाएंगे, और आप आगे जाते जाते आपका एक्सपीरियंस जो भी है वो उससे अलाइन होते जाएंगे। आपका वाइब्रेशंस जो भी है उस वाइब्रेशन के हिसाब से आपको वो एक्सपीरियंस मिलेगा। सो आप मैं क्या बोलती हूँ कि ये जो फैमिली सर्कल जो होता है ना, फर्स्ट सर्कल, वो बहुत तगड़ा एक्सपीरियंस होता है, तगड़ा कर्मा वाला एक्सपीरियंस होता है। उसमें उतना लेयर्स होता है कि हम जितना भी कोशिश करें उसमें और लेयर्स आते जाएंगे। सो इसको हम एंड नहीं कर सकते। तो हमको क्या करना है, एंड के बारे में सोचना ही नहीं। तो हम अपने बारे में सोचना है, हमारे आत्मोद्धार के बारे में सोचना है, बस ग्रैटिट्यूड करना है, सरेंडर करना है, और शरणागति करना है। शरणागति यानी हर किसी आउटकम जो आता है मेरे पास, मैं जो भी प्रॉब्लम है मैं उसको यूनिवर्स में सबमिट कर देती हूँ, और जो भी आउटकम वो मुझे मिलेगा वो प्रसाद की तरह मैं एक्सेप्ट करूंगी, क्योंकि वो मेरे लिए ही आया है। सो वो ऐसे माइंडसेट से हम काम करेंगे तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली अलाइन होता जाएगा। लेकिन हमारा वाइब्रेशन को ऊपर डालना है। कैसे? ये हर किसी में ग्रैटिट्यूड देखना है। वो नॉनवेज खा रहे हैं तो अच्छा, नॉनवेज खा रहे हैं लेकिन वो मुझसे बहुत अच्छी तरह बातें करते हैं, मुझे रेस्पेक्ट देते हैं, और
यस।
बच्चों के बारे में अच्छा सोचते हैं। तो ऐसे आप सोचते रहेंगे तो ऐसे ही उनके बारे में लिखते रहिए। तब आपको क्या होगा, अपने आप में आप चेंज देखेंगे, आपके नजरिए में चेंज देखेंगे आप। तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आपका नजरिया वो ब्लैक डॉट के ऊपर जा रहा है या व्हाइट वॉल के ऊपर जा रहा है। आप ब्लैक डॉट के बारे में सोच रहे हैं तो आपको वही मिलेगा। तो मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ, आप दूसरे हिस्से के बारे में सोचिए, और उससे आप कृतज्ञता, शुक्रिया बोलिए। बहुत जितना ज्यादा आप पूरे दिन में शुक्रिया और ग्रैटिट्यूड में रहेंगे, उतना ज्यादा आपका लाइफ में भी चेंजेस आएगा। शुक्रिया करने के लिए कोई भी रीजन भी नहीं है तो आपको ढूंढ के रीजन देखना है। ओके, आप समझ रहे हैं ना मेरी बात? ओके, थैंक यू। ठीक होगा, लेकिन थोड़ा सब्र रखिए।
मैम थोड़ा पता नहीं है, थोड़ा डॉट डॉट जो वाइट वो बोलते हैं वो हो गया है, तो मैंने रिमूव भी बहुत कर रही हूँ, क्योंकि पीसीएम से मैं जुड़ी हुई हूँ, बहुत टाइम से जुड़ी हुई हूँ। दीप्ति मैम सिखाती थी, 41 या 2 डेज का उन्होंने करवाया है, तो मैं पूरी तरह से 3:30 बजे 4 बजे का क्लास अटेंड किया है, 2-2 3-3 घंटे, तो मेरा पूरा वो सफाई हो चुकी है। लेकिन थोड़ा सा उन लोगों का खाने पीने का उनका है, मेरा अपना है। ग्रेटिट्यूड देती हूँ कि ये खाना नहीं है, एक प्रसाद है, वो खा रहे हैं और पूरी प्योरिटी के साथ बॉडी ठीक है, हेल्थ वेल्थ सब फिट है, बस वो दाने दाने वाइट दाने से हो रहे हैं, तो उससे थोड़ा सा हमें लगा कि क्या करें।
जज नहीं करना है किसी के बारे में, जजमेंट नहीं करना है। वो जो भी है वो अच्छा है, उनके जर्नी के लिए वो अच्छा है, वो चाहिए उनको। जो भी आगे आने वाला जो जर्नी है उसको अप्रिशिएट करने के लिए ये जर्नी उनको चाहिए। वो ये नहीं, आप उनसे अब उनके पास में से ये आप निकाल देंगे तो वो आगे वाला जो भी जर्नी है वो अप्रिशिएट नहीं करेंगे, वो समझेंगे नहीं। ये एक बटरफ्लाई की तरह, प्यूपा की तरह होता है ना। प्यूपा को आप पहले से ही निकाल देंगे वो प्यूपा से बटरफ्लाई को, तो वो बटरफ्लाई ब्यूटीफुल नहीं बनेगा। ऐसे है। सो उनके जर्नी में जो भी वहां जो भी है ठीक है, आपके जर्नी में आपका जो भी हो रहा है वो भी ठीक है।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
Okay, friends, abhi we will stop here. Thank you so much. Extremely grateful that all of you have joined this class at this late hour. Thank you very much. Very grateful. Thank you so much.